today is going to be an action-packed video, but first I want to announce that I have currently made a Black Friday sale. I'm going to attach the coupon code below, but basically it is 20% off of every single product that I have. So if you want to hop on that sale, you can get the coupon below, get any course of mine or ebook of mine, and you get 20% off. This offer is going to end at the end of November, so you're going to have to hop on it early. Without further ado, let's get into the main attraction. All right, traders, let's dive in. So this is a bot that trades off of liquidations and off of Binance sentiment. A quick note on how the bot operates is that it trades on FTX, but it uses data from Binance futures. So it's going to look at liquidation data from Binance futures, and it's also going to look at the Longshore Ratio from Binance futures. And the reason we wanted to use Binance futures data instead of FTX data is FTX liquidation data is a little bit weird. Short and long liquidations happen at weird points. Binance futures liquidation data backtests really well, and that's why we're going forward with that. So without further ado, let me show you guys a sample trade, and we'll get into it. So let's say that I want to trade Bitcoin. Trade direction both, okay? The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to settings, and you're going to want to go to trade rule index and put that to 1. This means that if this is your first trade ever, just put that at 1, and you're going to be fine, and then we're going to click save. We can't save yet because we got a lot of other data to put in. We're going to put that at 1. And we're trading Bitcoin, of course. Size to trade. So let's do a 0.1. I'm going to do an entry conditions now. So entry conditions. What this basically says is there's two ways that this bot can trade now, and that will probably expand in the future because this bot is just the alpha version. There's going to be newer versions of this bot going forward, but we wanted to release this to you guys earlier. So here it is for free. FREE. Okay, so in the last 2 minutes, there's a liquidation on Bitcoin of more than $100,000 and less than, let's say, how many 100? 1, 2, 3. That is 100,000. Less than 10 mil. And the reason this is the min and this is the max. The reason I don't want to take a trade if there's more than 10 mil in liquidations is that means that there's a ton of volatility. There's $10 million worth of liquidation on Binance futures. I'm not interested in taking a trade. Oh gosh, no. Oh gosh, no. So then what this bot also offers that a lot of other liquidation bots just don't even offer at all, and they're probably going to copy us after we do this, but is this can trade off of sentiment too. So here is an example of really how that works. What I'm going to do is let's go to Bitcoin, and I'm going to pull up the chart. Where is it? Save. View chart. So what I'm basically going to be doing is I want to look at what are good values for me to long and short at based on the long-short ratio, okay? So this will all make sense after this data loads. And I think I can even go to, oh, perfect, here it is. So it looks like the LSR, which is again, is just how many accounts are long versus how many accounts are short. It's as simple as that. I want to only go long if, let's say, there's less than, if this LSR is less than 1.6. I only want to go short if this LSR is more than 1.7. Make sense? Okay. So let's put that in here. So I'm going to say do not go long if current long-short ratio is more than 1.6. And do not go short if the current long-short ratio is less than 1.7. The reason I'm being kind of picky on this is because I want this to check every 5 minutes, and again, the reason to be picky is I want to see long-short ratio going down and lots of longs getting liquidated for me to go long. That's just a higher probability of success for me. If the price goes up, lots of shorts get liquidated, and the long-short ratio starts to rise, then that's an opportunity for me to short. So that's really why I have these settings here. You can also do it a little bit more advanced if you want, which looks at rate of change. This is looking at raw values. This is looking at rate of change. But we're only going to use this just for this example here. Exit conditions. I want to do two things on this, okay? The first thing I want to do is do a stop loss percent. So let's do a 3.5. Take profit, we'll cover that later. But I actually want to take profit on a liquidation from the other side. This is a pretty cool feature, but let's say in the last 2 minutes, last 2 minutes, there is a liquidation of the other side of at least 300K. So if there's a liquidation size of at least $300,000 over 2 minutes, then I exit. What that means, guys, is that if I go long because there are some long liquidations, then I will exit. The bot will exit for you if there are liquidations of shorts of at least 300K in the last 2-minute periods, okay? But for this to work, you also have to put a take profit. I'm just going to put this to something like 40 because I'm only going to take profit if this occurs. That's really my main. But, I can put that to like 10 actually, maybe to catch a spike with a limit order and get no fees on that. Who knows? But let's see here. Yeah, safe. Bot saved successfully. So what we've done here, I'm going to click Edit Trade, is we have entry conditions set up. This all makes sense to me. Exit conditions set up. This all makes sense to me too. We've backtested a little bit. You can also backtest a little bit more if you would like, if you want to look how the Longshore Ratio and liquidations operate over time. But what I see here, guys, is the last major liquidations, it looks like this guy, was that a 2 mil? So 1544 was pretty big. Yeah, 1544 was that $2 million and 200K. 1544 was 2 mil. So if you put, hey, I only want to enter if there's a liquidation of at least 1 mil, then you would have entered right here at the price of 16.55K. And let's say I only want to exit if there's at least $200,000 in liquidations from the other side, right? Well, that would exit 1544. That would exit, or maybe you could even put it to like 400,000. If you put it to 400,000, that would have been perfect because if you do that, you would have exited at 1657. 1657 was the market top right there. The market top was where those shorts got liquidated and where your long could have closed if you said, I only want to exit, if that many people are getting liquidated. Another example of that is at 1232. This could have been for entry or for exit of a long. Probably better for exit of a long. 1232, we see 655K worth of shorts liquidated. 1232 is near the market top. It's right here where my cursor is, as you can see at 1232. Price goes up only another like 50, 60 bucks. So if you had gone long based on, let's say, some liquidations around here, and you exited here, that probably would have been a good trade. Or even if you had shorted because this is a liquidation over, let's say, 500K, you would have shorted here. And let's say you put in, I only want to exit, I will enter with 500K, liquidations or more, and I will exit if there's more than 1 mil liquidation of other side. Well, then in that case, you would have shorted here, and you would have exited here at 1544. Short here, you would have exited here because of that large liquidation of $2.2 million. Okay? Now, if we put in Longshore Ratio into the picture, let's go look at that. So we want the Longshore Ratio to be pretty high if we're shorting at 1232. And at 1232, it looks like the ratio is about 1.61. So it matters how picky you want to be with that, but that seems okay around there. I mean, the best time to have shorted would probably be when Longshore Ratio is a lot higher up here, over 1.7, which would have been shorting around here, of course. But you can only get so good. You can only do so much. But overall, this looks like a good system. The only thing that I do want to change is my entry condition. I think that 100K is really low. I'm going to change that to 300. And I'm going to change my exit condition too. I want to only exit upon a liquidation size of the other side of at least $500,000. Let's click Save, and then let's run this. Okay. So enable. Do I want to enable? I do. It's trading it now. So now if any liquidations occur over 300,000 US dollars and the long short ratio is below 1.6 or above 1.7, then we take a trade based on the metrics that I provided, right? Let's say you want to actually run multiple coins. You don't want to just do Bitcoin. Well, let's do that. So to do that, you're going to have to disable the bot for that one. Let's go to FIL perp, and I'm going to click View Chart. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go look at how FIL perp has done in the past. And then based on the data that I see, I'm going to, enter, hey, do this upon these liquidations and so forth. So it looks like this has performed okay with liquidations. Not fantastic, but this is a beauty right here on FIL perp. What is this? Oh, is this still, for a second I was like a little bit confused if this was Bitcoin data. Is this Bitcoin data? Because the amount of liquidation here, 2.251894. Is that the same as Bitcoin? Well, anyway, I think that an easier way to do this is just to go to backtest. Let's just backtest the last 1 day. Please select a trade rule for backtest. Okay. Backtest result. Okay, I'm like clicking like a million buttons here. Please select. So it looks like that is the Longshore Ratio for FIL perp. So I'm just basically going to go off of that just to start. So let's go to FIL perp. I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to put that index at 2. The index is, I should probably describe what this is. Index is you're saying how important you want it to be. So Bitcoin's my most important and FIL is my second most important. So I'm doing it that way. And I want size to trade will be 1 FIL perp, 1 fill perp, so pretty small. Entry conditions. In last 1 minute, liquidation size just more than 10K. Liquidation size less than 10 mil. And I'm going to do the same thing here. It looks like from the graph that I had seen, perfect, it's right here. I only really want to long if we're lower than 2.4. So to do that, do not long if current is more than 2.4. Do not short, please do not short. If this is, I want this to be at least 2.6. So I'm going to put that guy in there. Yeah, that looks good to me. Exit conditions. For this one, let's say I don't want to take profit on liquidation of the other side. I just want super arbitrary. Then I could just do something like this. Or that's a little too low for fill perp. Let's just do a 5-8. Stop loss 5, take profit 8, and save. It should let me. Yep. And look at that. We now have 2 coins set up. We have fill perp and we have Bitcoin perp as well on FTX. I click enable, and it's going to run both. And there you go. It's now running 2 at a time. So basically at this point, you could go to Trader, you could go to Coinwise, go to anything you want, and you could basically see what kinds of liquidations are coming in to see if your bot's going to take trades or not. I would also recommend logging into your FTX account, watching the bot trade, and trading with the smaller capital to start, because you always want to start small whenever you're trying something new, just to be safe and to, you know, gain trust, gain confidence with the system before you go to higher amounts. Also, if you're a trader trading with a lot of money, I would recommend either staying to highly liquid coins or diversifying. Diversifying would be like, let's say you're using 5 coins on your account and each 100K, or not 100K, probably more than that, like 5 coins each with an average of $1 million, then that might be a bit easier. But you do want to be careful with entering too large at one moment, because that could give you a really bad fill price. Okay? No pun intended. Fill. Okay, so that's going to do it for this video. I'm super excited to be releasing this to you guys. And again, this is a free bot as long as you do what is required below, which is just sign up with the referral link with this bot in mind. And that's all you have to do. It's as simple as that. Without further ado, shoot me any messages through email, through Discord, through YouTube comments, and I'm more than happy to help out. I'm pretty excited about this, but remember that this is early in development, and I know a lot of you guys were asking for this to come out as soon as possible. That's why it's out now. But disclaimer is that when you take trades based on the system, of course, these are the trades that you're taking. We're not intervening, so it's really your money and your choice to do whatever you want with your money. But remember that this is earlier in development, so it will get better in the future. But if you find any bugs, if you find anything that looks kind of off, shoot me a PM, and we'll fix it. With that, happy trading, and I'll see you guys in the next one.